Okay, I've had several posts about tonight's homework. This is not tonight's homework. These are not the problems, but I can show you how to work each type of problem out. So the first thing is we're talking about base 10 numbers and expanded notation. So let's look at this number, 3,275,384. The directions told you to write it in expanded form. So this is when we start counting our zeros. How many numbers are behind the number we're writing? So we put a parentheses, 3 times 1, and then we count how many numbers are behind the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we put 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close parentheses. Now we do the same exact thing for our 275,000. We keep going. We put a plus, because we're combining these numbers together. And we're going to do parentheses 2 times 1, and then count the number of zeros behind it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close parentheses. And then we do plus parentheses. And we keep going. So we do 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 with 4 zeros. Plus, and we go to the 5 times 1 and 1, 2, 3 zeros. Plus, we're on our 3. Parentheses 3 times 1, and it has 2 zeros. Plus, parentheses 8 times 1, and there's one number behind it. Plus, parentheses 4 times 1. And remember, I told you in class that you don't have to put 4 times 1, you can just put 4. So that's basically how we do expanded form. We write the place value number we're at, we multiply it by 1, and add that many zeros to it. Now let's look at the next problem. It says write an expanded form with exponents. So we're going to do the kind of the same thing, except for now it is going to be to the base 10. So I'm going to put parentheses, 2 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power. Plus, open parentheses, 5 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th power. Plus, open parentheses, 8 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4th power. Plus, sorry. Alright, plus, parentheses, 2 times 10 to the 3rd power, because it is 1, 2, 3 numbers behind it. Then we keep going, and we get 1 times 10 to the second power, close parentheses, plus, parentheses, 3 times 10 to the 1, because there's one number behind it, and then we get plus 8 times 10 to the 0, because there's no number behind it. Alright, so let's move on. Let's move on to our next question. It says, find the exponent value. So we have 6 cubed, or 6 to the third power. We know from last week that the base, which is this bottom number, tells us the number that we're going to be writing. The power tells us how many times we're going to write it. So I know that I'm going to be writing 6, and I'm going to be writing it times 6, and I'm going to be writing it times 6 again, because now we have 3 6s. So now we have to actually write out the value, because this week Miss Sills wants to know that you know the value. So we move from left to right, so we're going to go 6 times 6 is 36. Times, and we still have this 6 over here, so we bring that 6 down. So now we're left with 36 times 6. And 36 times 6, we can neatly write it up like this. It's okay if you need to do that. And we start in the back. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 on the bottom, 3 on the top. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 more is 21. So when we multiply those numbers, we get 216. The last thing that we covered in class, but it is not on your homework, is putting a number in exponent base 10 form. So if we have the number 475, and Ms. Sill says put it in base 10 form, we know that the decimal should be after the first number. So I'm going to put 4.75 times, it's base 10, so we have to have a 10. That's where the base 10 comes from. That's where the 10 comes from, because we're putting it in base 10 form. This was where our decimal was initially. We moved it one spot, and then we moved it another spot. So we get 4.75 times 10 to the second power. Now, let's pretend that our number said 0.475. And Miss Sill says to write it in base 10 form. Well, we can do that too. The same rules follow. We want 4.75, but this time we moved our decimal from the left to the right. So we know that it is going to be 10, because it's base 10. But since we went this way, it's going to go negative. So we get a negative 1, because we moved it one spot. I hope this helps you with your homework. Please note that if I didn't answer any questions, there are lots of friends on Edmodo that you can direct your questions to. If there are any more questions, write them down and bring them to Miss Seals in the morning to make sure that I cover those questions in class. Thank you. Bye-bye.